All right. Welcome to Tote Bag Labs Online, where we are going to be doing a little bit of UI. We want to make this cute little info panel for Valentine. Where are we? Where are we with that? Let's see. Oh, very nice. We're basically there. So what did I do? Let's see. I will do some commits. No. Yes. No. Okay. Fix spacing between info panel text. And yep. Nope. Nope. Commit. Oh, wait a second. Git add SR. There we go. So that's fine. I don't want to stage those. Okay. Oops. Git commit. Use Roboto medium instead of Roboto mono medium instead of regular for info panel text. Git push. Git log. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at, let's step through these commits. Oops. Oh, yeah, of course. The ones that I don't want. Oh, and also I need to set that back to true. And now see if anything is, if I missed any formatting. Okay. Now, let's see about, okay, so these were the three things I've done so far. Let's see, what are we doing? Okay. Oops. This was the state of the code before I did anything. Oh, it's still working. Problem. We want the text to resize. We don't want it to get further apart. Solution. Actually set the height of the text. I thought that since you gave draw fitted text. This is how the text is drawn. I made this lambda here because I knew I'd be doing something repetitive, and I thought it would be most clear to have this pretty simple function and just kind of, right. So all this does is, right, gets the bounds, draws the text, does a margin, and then returns the bounds, because sometimes I want to use the bounds, i.e. when I am placing the text for the URL. Anyway, so I assume that since draw fitted text has this bounds argument, that it would kind of just figure it out. It wouldn't. It needs this height argument. So the next issue, so this is how it looks. When we're correctly setting the height. Cool. Yes, that is pretty much what we want. And then the next issue was, I should not have closed that so I could show you the next issue. For reference, let's bring up the Figma file. The spacing is a little much, a little too much spacing. So I had this margin that I actually don't need. Now when we compare, nice. But then I realized that this looks a bit light compared to the Figma. Now this one is not visible here because it involved simply using a different font. I was using Roboto Mono Regular. But that was looking like more of a medium. Not that I'm a font genius, it's just that I literally went to Google Fonts and looked at the fonts and figured out, hey, this actually looks more like medium than regular. Oh, oh yeah, I have to do, cool. That looks a lot better. Let's match the, yeah, I'd say, for now, I'd say that's close enough. So, what's next? Well, And once again, I've done the thing where I close live when I actually need to look at the plugin again. Okay. This one is kind of obvious. So I think that's centered. Looks centered, right? This is very clearly not centered. That is mostly because when I first implemented this, I was not thinking about, I just wanted to get the text in and make sure I had the concept correct. So let's do that. Oh, that is look and feel info panel. And this is going to be silly, but I'm going to look up the algorithm for this again. I know it's a very simple one, but which is one also that I took just out of JUCE as well. Let's see. Because I did it a bunch of times here. Ah, yes, you get the height. Let's generalize this. Maybe generalizing it will help us. Will help by us, I really mean myself. Help myself remember what is going on here, right? So we get component, let's call it child. We have a child, we have a parent component, we have a child component that that we want to place on it and center it, right? Equals parent component height times, you know, some scale factor. And then child component y equals parent component center y minus child component height divided by 2. Oh, and that's it. This is actually not relevant. So we get the child component height. And then we get the y position of the child component by dividing that height by 2 and subtracting it from the center y position of the parent component. That would probably be better with a diagram, but you know what? We'll just rock with it. So in that case, what is that going to be for us? We have this text area. We have this text area height, right? Then we have the text height. So well, the first thing that we can do to make this, I suppose, easy to think about is, what do? We just got the heights. We haven't done anything with the bounds yet. Have we? Hold on. Get the bounds fill the bounds with the color, bounds width, bounds height. Ah, I see. So the text area is, oh, okay. So maybe it's that we've thought about this a little bit. We've made this harder than it needs to be. Because what we can do, right? Because here we get the text area, and the text area, as you can see, it actually is going to be, since we're using reduced, it should end up centered, I think. Let's find out. G.set colors red, right? G.full rect text area. Oh, does not. What have I done wrong? Okay. This is a sanity check, which for me is super important to do whenever I'm doing anything UI related. Yes, okay. And this actually illustrates our problem quite well. We have this big area, and then just because I was trying to get something down quick and trying to get this in the general ballpark, I said, cool, give me a square in the center here, and then just slice off bits of it and put our text here. The issue is it kind of makes the business of centering this a little more complicated than it needs to be, because right now all of these positions are based on the dimensions of this component here, or of this region, when really we could just remove this region and base everything off of the wider component. So let's do that. So I suppose the first thing that we should do is, so right, we're going to basically factor out text area from all these calculations. And what I would like to do is get the text to draw exactly the same, so we know that we're in the ballpark, right? So we were taking the text area height, which is the height of this, and dividing it by 16. So now we're going to divide it by 64. And what else would we have to do? Oh, I see. So that's kind of, maybe, I said let's remove that part of the that abstraction in order to make this more simple. Let's see if, right, because then we have it written like this. So let me think. So what if now, after defining the text height based on the bounds height, or if, let's see, text bounds equals, I guess having actually some concept of that is a little bit nicer. But I think what we need to do in order to make this a little bit easier is change the order in which we're defining things. Does that make sense? Yes, I think, right? So we start with the height that we want our text to be, right? And then let's call that text line height, right? Auto text area equals text line height times the number of lines we're going to have, which is 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which feels, I really like making constants. Does this, you know what? Let's just do it. Text area height, great, is going to be that. Const auto text area y equals bounds height divided by 2. Wait, yeah? Because reduced, let's just see what happens. Oops. So, const auto text bounds equals bounds with y text area y dot with height text area height. Is this going to be a huge mess? I don't know. Text line height. Let's see. Let's see what happens. What did I do? That is not what I meant to do at all. Oh wait, is that centered? No, it's not centered either. Okay, so clearly my understanding is a little bit less than I would like it to be. But that's okay. So what if we did that? And oh, okay. So we would actually have to do something like bounds dot get y minus bounds height into 2. Right, because that's, so reduced, let's take a look at what reduced does, right? It's going to, oh, h minus delta y times 2. Oh, but also the y is, okay. So we have to do y plus delta y h minus, well, let's ignore this part, but y plus delta y. So actually, oh, I see. I think. So actually we do need to. Let's see. Is that going to get us closer to what we're supposed to be doing? Okay, for the first time I was too fast for live. Yes, okay, cool. So now we are back at basically how it was before, but factored in a way that should make centering the component easier to do. Centering the text, right? And let's actually also, I like, sometimes defining things. Oh, actually, this doesn't, oh yeah, we need text line height right here. Text area Y. Oh, actually, so we actually will need this. Because, right, what is the child component height equals, so we'll ignore that part because that's actually not, the key part is here. Parent component center Y. So bounds dot get center Y minus parent component height divided by 2. Wait, oh. Oops, that's a bit premature, but let's run it. All right. So, hey, awesome. It is centered. Oops, there we go. So let's take a look. Oh, you know what? I think the kerning is a little bit different. Feels a little more spread out. But let's before we jump ahead to that, I'm just trying to square the fact that, and obviously this is very inflexible, right? It's extremely hard coded, which is fine. I'm not trying to make like a printer or something. I'm just trying to place text. So I feel almost silly putting I like, constants. Okay, info text lines equals int. And the thing I like about it is I just feel like it's a little more expressive. In fewer characters, because I would, write, oh, this is 5 is supposed to be the number of infotext lines, so Jose or whomever, if you decide to add more stuff to it, blah, 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 blah. Or we could just do k num infotext lines and be done with it. Anyway, so yeah, let's commit that. Center info panel text. Cool. Now let's look at the kerning. I forget. I don't think it's called kern. Oh, it is. And as you can see in the past, so let's just do that. And let's see how that looks. Oh yeah. That, I feel, is a bit closer. Oh yeah. Cool. Now, so let's commit that. Easy peasy. Cool. Now, let's see. Let's go to the JUCE forums and see what is going on. Let's see. Because, sorry, I haven't explained why. And I closed Figma. As you can see, the Figma design has this cute link for the link. I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. Oh, there's an emoji font? Oh, that didn't work. Ah, okay. JUCE does not currently include support for rendering emoji. This is true. It will be a very large undertaking to do properly on all platforms. Okay. Well, that resolves that. I'll have to make a note that we need to do something a little bit different there. But that's great. This is almost done. All we need to do is, oh, you know what? I wonder what color that is. Is that just white? Oh, that's just white. Is it? Yeah, that's just white. We need to get Totie in here. Let's see. First of all, since I'm going to mess with CMake lists, do we have, no, we don't. So I think I need to export it. Yeah, Totie mask. Export mask group. I don't think so. I don't think I want that. This is what I want. Just to make absolutely certain that I'm getting, that is hard to see. But you know what? That's what we're going to do. Export to SVG. Oh, export. And hold on 1 second. Let's find the repo. Here we go. Repos, Valentine, libs, topag, assets. Cool. So now we have Totie watermark.svg. Now this is going to be interesting to implement, I think, because as you can maybe see here, it's very like the SVG is extremely opinionated. It's already like pre-cut. So if I don't have it in just the right place, it's going to look a bit weird. So one thing, we'll see if I can do this, because one thing that is, maybe I exported the wrong thing. Hold on. Oh yeah, I exported the wrong thing, because there's this whole, I should have just exported, not this whole let's get you out of here. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to remove this. Oh boy. Oh, I see. I just want this thing. I don't, so welcome to struggling with Figma. What I would like to do is separate out this. I only want to export this as the bounds of the graphic itself. Actually, do I? Because I suppose I could just say, give me this whole image, and then I'll just give it. Oh, you know what? No. Let's try doing something super simple. I think what has happened is, oh, but it's like offset then. Oh, so let's see how it looks the way it is. So it has these dimensions, which I think I have to keep track of. SVGs are still sometimes challenging to me. So let's take a look at. Yeah, see, this is how I've gotten it to work, is by keeping track of the ratio between width and height of the component. So then whenever I resize it, I make sure it doesn't get all messed up. And then yes, I used image stretched. I found that it makes it really easy to understand how it's actually going to respond when you do something to it. So this isn't going to be a drawable button. I guess it's just going to be a drawable, which I think, right, is drawable something that we can actually use? Let's find out. Info panel. I suppose since it's going to be underneath everything, I'm going to put it here. Drawable. Oh, a drawable image. That's almost certainly what it's going to be. Totie watermark. And I'm sure there is. Let's take a look at. So can I instantiate this? First of all, does it let me build this? I feel like it. Okay, interesting. Totie watermark dot set image. Going to go to other code. I'm beginning to be concerned that I might be doing the wrong thing, but whatever. You know, let's take a look at the, yes, JUCE, a drawable, create from image data. And then it's going to be Totie watermark. Watermark. Does not like something about what we've done here. You know, let's take a look at the drawable documentation at this point. This might not be what we're looking for. Drawable path. Drawable path. No. Drawable composite. I find myself. I also feel like I've done this before, but I'm just kind of blanking on. Well, back to the JUCE forum. JUCE. How to draw an SVG image. This is not. You know what? I'm going to log into ChatGPT. How can I help you today? Well, buddy, how do I draw an SVG image in JUCE? Oh man. Okay, yeah, I feel like they really do a lot of padding sometimes. So who inherits from drawable composite, drawable image, which is I thought what we would drawable shape? That doesn't seem right. I mean, I feel like drawable image is but how do I create the correct image? So maybe I was asking the wrong question. The question is, let's take a look at, so we've got this create from image data function. How do I create an image from SVG in JUCE? I've had enough. That doesn't. What? This doesn't make sense. Okay, maybe this is on me. You create the drawable. Interesting. See, the thing is, this instruction has nothing to do with the image. Couldn't I do this in any component? I think it maybe accidentally gave me the right answer. Oh, I see. Well, this is... I see. Oh. Sure. You know what? Let's just see what happens if we just copy paste what ChatGPT has told us. Okay, so let's see. Balance width. I feel like something about this is wrong. Yeah, because, you know, part of the issue here... Let's see what's going on here. I don't think I can do this. Fine. Let's just see. Let's just see. Also, this feels this is not going to work, but you know, whatever. Let's just because I don't have an incredibly better idea right now. Do you build? I'm going to guess no. No. Wait, in the C make. Hold up. Oh yeah, let's ignore this for a second because we're not really messing with that. That does build. Okay. I'm spacing on something here, but you know what? Because this creates, but I thought that I'm not allowed to just simply instantiate a drawable. Oh, it can't be instantiated directly. That's different. Okay, that makes sense. So, right. I had a little misreading issue. And also, I'm having a format issue. So we've got our watermark. We're creating it. I feel like we don't need this part, and I don't completely understand what it's trying to say here about caching or whatever, because at least the way that this is implemented, right? This is implemented in the scope of whatever function, so nothing is getting cached. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Didn't miss too much. I was just talking about, what was I talking about? This is building. This generally works. I want to know if it generally works is what's happening. Generally works meaning a few tests. 1, does it build? It does build. 2, does it render? Hey, buddy. You know, what's interesting about this also is the fact that, yeah, I clearly didn't really understand what's going on with this component here because I exported it and I actually did get a whole Totie, which I'm actually okay with. Great. It's nice to see ya. So one thing that we have to do with this, shift it a bit to the left. And we're gonna just, this is gonna be vibes. Oh, actually it needs to be a little, as you can see, it needs to, let me think of the best way to do this. Okay, so this is, I'm actually going to, yeah, against status. Oops. Cool. That's nice and cute. I think in order to, if I didn't have, if I wasn't picky, if I did just want it centered, I could do that, and it actually looks quite nice. But I think what I'm going to want to do is, first of all, do stretch to fit. And then that's when we're going to have to do our having its own bounds. And then we'll manipulate that bounds both in size, making sure that it keeps its dimensions. And let's see. Oh yeah, I will be screenshotting. Oh, nope. That is, no, what did I do? Big Totie. Very cool. So we're getting there. Watermark bounds equals bounds dot. Well, first of all, we need the dimensions, which I'm not. So here is going to be const expr float k Totie width const expr float k Totie height const expr float k Totie float Totie height width or width height. I like my consistency. What did I do last time? Oh, I wasn't consistent. Okay, let's fix this now, because typically when you define, right, a rectangle, it is width and then its height. So width height ratio equals Totie width divided by k Totie height. I guess the reason I typically, because it depends on what axis I'm typically adjusting the size on, which is, that's why I define the ratio differently. Whatever. So we have the ratio, but now the question is, what are those values? Because we have this, right? Oh, I'm going to, am I going to make a frame? Do I know how to make a frame? Yeah, I can make a frame. Look at me. Okay, so I can more clearly see this. Mask group. There's a rectangle. But I want right, that's the dimensions of this whole shebang. Don't want that. I want what is that? Yeah, we've just got okay. So we have frame 1 here. This is Totie mask. We have this group. We have a mask group. Totie outline. Here we are. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so, oh, well, that is, do I have dimensions of this? Right, so it looks like I can get the width here. Which is fine. I just want to grab the dimensions off of it, right? So the width 2098.55. 2094.79. This is one of those cases where I kind of feel like there might be a better way of doing this, but I don't yet have enough experience to really articulate that. Oh, let's get rid of this. Oh, that's silly. I actually, whatever. I wasn't doing this totally correctly. So let's make sure after, because I actually, oops. I committed this using some of that, boilerplate, hallucinated GPT stuff. So, okay, cool. Big Totie. We are where we expected to be. But now, let's make some bounds for Totie. Const auto Totie bounds equals bounds with width bounds width divided by detail. You know what? I'm going to do this the way I did it before because and I think this is why height width ratio times height width ratio so for now we're just going to get the background bounds, but we are going to alter the width in order to lock the ratio down to the one used in the lovely design, so we don't get big Totie, or so we don't get wide Totie. We get normal but big Totie. Wait, did I build? Wait, I'm actually not completely sure whether I actually built that. I didn't. That would do it. Oh, no, that is, I'm going to have to see how I did this before because I have not conceptualized this correctly. Oh, yes, of course. You need to get the new... Okay. I see. No, this is absolutely wrong. No, that wasn't. This is absolutely wrong. So what we need to do is we need to make a decision as to how, you know what, I'm not going to make any, I'm just going to kind of keep rocking with the decision that I made. So that means with height, bounds with height, wait. Is this going to do what I think it does? Well, generally, we're going to be getting a dimension based on what we want for the current size. And in order to preserve the dimensions, then we have to derive the other dimension, the other whether width or height, based on that. You know what? Let's just see what happens. Okay, yes. This is what we wanted. That's cool. You know, now the question is, let's take a look at although the one thing is that I think it would be easier to get this right if we think about it in terms of the height instead of the width, right? Because it looks like we want it to be just a little bit bigger than the height. So if we kind of use the width as the baseline, I think we're gonna have to do more work than we need to do. So what we're gonna do is with height ratio, and with height, ratio, right? With width, bounds, height. And that should get us a little closer to placement and dimensions. Yeah, okay, cool. That is a lot closer, right? Because if we look at Figma, right, we basically want it to be the size of the info panel. We want it to be a little taller, and we want it to be shifted you know, quite a bit. So how much taller? First of all, let's get that going. And so let's see, Totie height equals bounds height, I don't know, 20% larger? So bounds dot width height, bounds dot width height, Totie height. And once we've got the height in the ballpark, then we can shift them over. Let's run it. Yes. Let's see. Whoops. You have failed. You've gotten the big toady. Why? Toady height. Wait, hold on. Oh, I did some weird stuff here. Toady bounds equals bounds with height with width. Why is that? Oh, whatever. Clang format, gonna clang format, I suppose. Checking my stuff. Okay, cool. So that is up and running. Hey, cool. Okay. So we are in the ballpark, and actually it's looking like we actually need to shift. We need to do a few more shifts. So that's probably close enough for now in terms of the size. Okay, cool. You know, this actually might be a job for... I just don't like using JUCE live constant. Like putting in code for a second and then ripping it out later because you don't want to compile it in there. And it's just like, it feels like a lot. But, well, whatever. Cool. So let's shift Totie to the right. Didn't sound right. Totie x equals bounds dot get x, and let's do it according to the width, right? Plus bounds width it's less than half times 0.4 dot width x Totie x. Yeah, let's get the basic stuff, and then maybe once we have these different scalars going, then maybe we'll rock that JUCE live constant business. Hey, okay, cool. That's yeah, you know what? That's gonna have to be the way to do it. So then let's move to Totie y equals bounds dot get y plus bounds height times what? Let's take a look at Figma for our starting point. Only a little bit. Oh no, actually, I need to we need to run this again because I'm not sure. Let's compare to Figma. So it needs to go up a little bit. Now, the issue here is that I wonder if it'll let me define a negative. Is that bad form? If I were to, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm gonna take a look at the implementation and see, like, do rectangles care if you give them a negative value? You know what, because the issue is that this is a bit above of where it is currently, right? Take a look at Totie's eye here. But this is placed according to the y coordinate of bounds, which is 0 here because it's just get local bounds. So what happens if I want to intentionally clip this? Right, I want to move this off of the bounds. Am I allowed to just right, so this is going to create a negative y. And you know, even if like this might be bad form, is it bad form? You know what, it might just be one of those things that that no matter what, it's going to be useful to write a note in here that says we are intentionally clipping the watermark here, which is why we're doing things that would result in. Let's see. Oh, okay. It is perfectly fine with that. And you know what? I'm just going to go with it. Cool. So now let's get JUCE live constant going. So now, of course, false. Let's go to C make lists. Let's take that. Let's wrap our scalars, scale our variables in constant. And let's do that for the height as well, and then we will be able to do a little bit of simply looking at it and figuring it out. Oh, will we? Oh. All right. Let's see. So we've got that. Let's bring up Figma. Okay, and let's get this window to be just about the same size. Okay, cool. And so I think Totie still needs to be a little bigger. So let's see. That's too much. 1.4? No, 1.3? Okay. I think that might be it. And now 0.4. What is this? Oh, this is the X. So this needs to 0.2. Nope. 0.3. 0.25. No. 0.28. Okay. And now this needs to 0.1. Oh. Okay. And now that we're a little bit closer, we can see it's a little too large. 0.1, no, 1.2, 1.25, no, 1.2, sorry, 1.22. Okay. This, it could go lower a little bit. So, oh yeah, then I have Y. .1. Oh no, that was the height. That's what made it so close. Here we go. It should go a little lower. So no. Yeah. I think think 0.28, 0.08, 1.22. And yeah, that is at least close enough for review. This Totie shifted to the right a little bit more, which means it's also a little bit smaller. Dare we tweak it? It's a little bit smaller. So what if we did 1.2? We did that. No, this is not quite. Let's see. A little bit further to the left. A little further down? You know, I preferred it how it was before, and it'll be a matter of review. Oops. Yeah, let's just... So for now, nope. Yes. I like to have something like this. Enable use of JUCE. I like that on a separate commit. Git p. Nope. Yep. Oh, and I actually need to git commit fix up. Git rebase I. Keeping a clean Git history is way way easier if you do it as you go. Okay, that built all right. Yeah. Oh, still building. Cool. Because now we are complete. This looks close enough to the specification, which is super cool because that means that in terms of the UI redesign, we are feature complete. It's incredibly exciting. All that's going to be left is, well, getting this ready to actually make a pull request for and merge it in, but then to do some UI tweaks and some little things like making some components a little bit smaller in order so they match this right here. Great. That is fantastic. But first, let's do a little bit of cleanup. Because this paint method has become, my watch is yelling at me to plug it in. Anyway, draw watermark. And we're just going to move what do we need to get this to work correctly? Trying to think of the, you know, JUCE rectangle int. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Does it? No, it doesn't actually, because all the instructions, all the code is about, this isn't supposed to be reusable, right? This is supposed to be, how do I get the watermark to show up in the right place? So let's get rid of, we can move all of this here, and then we'll just need to yeah, that makes sense. Let's make sure that works. Oh, we need to call it Oh, we need to pass the graphics context into it, not the bounds, because as we established, we are just passing in and you know what? I'm not going to put a comment here because I feel like it's kind of, if you look at the UI, it's somewhat self-explanatory that the intention is to clip it because you'll see the picture. But let's see if that is correct. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's move, yep. So now I moved, yep, okay, so good. And let's rename it as well. Add Totie watermark to info panel. Cool. And now I find myself compelled to do the same for this because there's a lot going on. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it does. Let's see. Void draw info text. Just make this code just a little easier to read. Void panel draw info text JUCE graphics. And I think I'm going to do the same where I just get the bounds and I think for now, let's have it work that way. Draw info text. And need to correct this to get bounds. Const. I feel like this is fine because these are just getters. So if they're all oh, did I already build it? The question is, do I want to, if I didn't want to do that, what am I going to then put the bounds width, and the bounds height in the interfaces here? It feels, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's make sure that this works. There's the text. Great. Now where should this change go? No, I'm going to do some squashing first. Git commit. But first, let's commit this stuff just in case. Commit squash me. Oop, squash me. Move info text drawing to function. What did I do? Ah. Oops. What am I doing? Do I even need to do a force push? Whatever. Okay. So let's do some rebasing. And oh yeah, we're gonna do a lot of squashing. And rebase. Okay, so oops. Okay. Use Roboto for text. Correctly set font height and info panel. Fix spacing between. Since this is going to be the first commit, or this is going to be the first PR where this stuff shows up. So I'm just going to. Oh, and am I going to remember the Vim magic to. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see. Uh-oh. No. Okay, no. I forgot part of it. I've learned and relearned how to do this and forgotten. So I'm going to just do it the slow and easy way. The slow, easy, and error-prone way. Add info text to info panel. Nice. And now let's get rid of. Oh, yes, that was add info text to info panel. Cool. Okay. Still builds. Good. We love to hear. We love to see it. Okay. Let's also check just to make sure that there weren't any, silent conflicts that ended up getting resolved by wiping out something nice that I did. That looks about right. I'm going to take a picture of that. Okay, cool. So let's force push that. And now do some more rebasing. First of all, we've got what is this? Yeah, okay. Now where would I have a comment here about maybe squashing it. My question is to where? Oh, because, is it because, I know why. Yes, it should be squashed into, nope, not there. Into implement panel for info view. Implement an info panel. Info panel component. Oops, what did I just do? Oh no. Did I just do something silly? Oh, no, I just think a little risky, which is I didn't check to make sure that everything was working fine before I just rocked the force push. It's probably fine. Base. So create a build ID from the commit hash and store in a header. Add version number to version header. Reword. Implement an info panel component. Add info text, info panel. This can go to the end. Actually, this should go to the beginning. Should this go to the beginning? Yeah. Maybe, probably. And this should get squashed into add. So we're going to move this. We should reword this too. Okay. Darn it. Clean up. Add .vs code to .git ignore. So probably go on a different PR, but create a build ID from current commit hash and store in a version header. Oh. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you try to do too much stuff at once. So we get some conflicts. So accept incoming change. And are you still mad at me? Why is mouse up there? Oh, how did that? Weird. But let's see if that builds. Cool. Git. Yes, of course. And now add Totie watermark to info panel. Okay, are you going to be happy with me? Definitely going to want to check that. Yep, looks right. Okay. Also, one thing that I should check is whether the correct git hash is being shown. Should start with a 9. Oh. That is a bug. And it might be straightforward. So 65 B94EB, right? So as you can see, it is showing the commit previous, which makes, I think that pretty much makes sense. But at least in terms of the rebasing we just did, everything's fine. So actually we should make sure we've got that. And then let's see about, oh yeah, first need to, because we're going to be messing with the configuration that grabs, is as simple as that. Let's hope. No, that is not. Well, you know what time it is. That's right. It's time to ask ChatGPT. How do I get the very leading commit hash in CMake? The following yields the previous hash. it behave? Gosh darn it. Could this not be running when it's supposed to? Do I need to make sure that it can? Oh, maybe I need to make sure that it configures every time. Maybe that's the issue here. So let's see. Right, because this would only run when it configures. So if the configuration is out of date with respect to the commit, it will not show the correct thing. Hey, that's okay, cool. So we actually don't have a bug, which is fantastic. And since when we're doing releases, it will be running this configuration fresh every time. I don't think we need to think about this. So let's take a picture of that. Oh, I think I already, well, very cool. And wow. So where are we then? We are implement an info menu. Cool. One moment, please. Where are the screenshots? Ah. Yes. Oh. Let's see. Da, 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 da. So adds an info panel to Valentine, clicking the Totie logo on the upper left hand corner shows the panel. Clicking the panel dismisses it. Nice. Oh, maybe a little bit. Panel displays. Plugin name and manufacturer, as well as the commit it is built, as well as its version and build. Version info, including build, commit, and a link to this GitHub. Cool. And these, let's see if I feel brave enough to review and accept this before finishing things up. Cool. That's uncontroversial. What is this? Yes, this is the create a build ID from current commit hash and store in a version header. Cool. So we add, yes, this version. This version template. I forget, do we need to include the CMake binary directory? I don't actually think so. Let's see what happens. We do. Why? Let's surf through all these warnings to find out why. Oh man. Info panel. Oh, okay. So no, we absolutely do need the binary. Oh, okay. I misunderstood this commit. I thought that this was adding both of these, and I was like, what is going on? Why do we need to add both of these? So yes, this obviously needs to have the CMake binary directory because that is where we are. So my thinking here is, since this is essentially like a product of the CMake configuration, I'm putting it in the build directory because, that's where that type of thing shows up. Like that's where binary data is, right? So we need to include that now as a include directory. Is that terrible? Is that horrible? I don't actually know, but hopefully at some point people will come yell at me and help me fix it. Maybe I should be careful what I wish for. Okay, so add version number to version header. So we centralize that information. There should be a... I thought there would be a corresponding change to CMake lists, but I guess not. Well, whatever. Implement an info panel component. This is the one that does a basic. Oh, I'll fix that. Wait. Git restore and settings true info. It does have a space. Oh, is it the CPP? Okay, so info panel, go constants. This is the one implementing a basic info panel. We just paint it white, and we have a way of dismissing it. It just covers up the whole UI. Info panel. mouse up. Here's the whole business with giving the preset panel a callback so it knows what to do when it gets clicked. Why did I include memory here? You know what I should have included actually, since it's, although, should I do this? No, I'm not going to do this. What I was going to say is I feel it is better to explicitly include, wait, should I? Yeah, I'm going to. I think it's better to explicitly include things. So we are using std function, so we should include functional. Since we're introducing it there. So we have the preset panel, processor, preset manager. Yep. Yep. Cool. So I can. Yep. Yep. Fix up. So let's move on. Actually, no, I remember I decided to, I definitely, I think I talked about this on the last stream, where this -1 means set to send to back. And I was thinking of making a constant so I could just say send to back, but that feels incredibly fussy. So I'm not going to do that. Would that be cleaner to move up here? Maybe. Let's take a look at this. It'd be an info panel, right? See, this includes functional correctly. Nice. What could I do? Const expr. Could I do string view? String view. URL equals. Are you going to let me do this? No. Oh, well. What can JUCE URL? It can take a string. You know what? I'm being, no. I'm being fussy. Let's not bother with that. That does not need to be a constant. At least not now. This could get maybe refactored to be a more general purpose info panel. But until then, let's just not draw info text. Is this because oh, wait. Oh, okay, because originally, right, in the first implementation, mouse up just executes the callback. But now mouse up has to first test for the click for where the user's clicking. If it's in the GitHub URL area, it is going to go to the GitHub. Otherwise, it's going to call the callback. That is why this diff ended up the way it is. Vertex bounds with height, area height. Why? Text bounds. That. Yeah, whatever, that's fine there. Because we're setting the color, we're setting the font. We are then defining this place text function. I'm trying to think if I want to be fussy. And what would I do? No, this is fine. This is all fine. This is subject to review, this color choice. But let's see, we have the addition of draw info text and of the URL bounds and the URL. The addition of the get info text font. Cool. We have the addition of the font. That's fine. We have enabling that because we might have to, I'm leaving that commit in there because it only builds if it's enabled. It only includes this header if it's enabled in CMake lists, and we might have to use it later. Add the watermark. So we've got the SVG. You know, one thing I will be fussy about. Will I? Yes, I will be fussy about that. Because how is everything defined? Info text watermark. Yes, I'm going to be fussy. We're going to create the watermark. Draw watermark. Do we need to? I mean, we should. Yeah, I mean, it is nicer to, if I don't know. You know, in what case this would actually be null, but you know what? Actually, let's let's not bother with any of this stuff if somehow we don't have a watermark, and then somehow it'll, you know, it won't draw, but it won't crash either, which is, you know, it's nicer to do it that way, I think. So let's come on. Okay. And and here are the fix-ups. Cool. Well, get rebase. Let's see what happened here. Is it that simple? Wait, did I accidentally blow away? No? Okay. Wait. I don't... Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Let's try that again. So... Oh, okay, the fix-up's not being applied yet. So this must be because of the change, the adding of the space at the end. Right, okay. Get rebase, continue. Yes. Now let's... Yes, cool. Thank you for watching or joining. Have a great rest of your night.